experience. I got my lovely co-host here, Kathy D. And April Williams. She's doing the disappearing act, but she is there. You know how she rolls. She likes to go in them different dimensions on the 12th dimension, 10th, and all that stuff. But you will see her shortly. You know, she'll appear once she's finished talking and doing some research in the Akashic records. What Metatron? So how's everybody doing? Hey, Tammy. Hey, Wanda. Hey, Benita. Hey, Unique Model. How's everybody doing tonight? I see you all did find your way here again tonight too as well. Yes. All right. So tonight's topic is, what does the divine feminine want from the divine masculine? All right. So we're trying to, I guess that's like the big question, isn't it? Like if I had the answer, I would be out of business. I wouldn't have to do this anymore. So you know, a lot of energies is going on. You know, I like to talk about the energy report first, and then we get right on into the topic and stuff. But right now, what's going on with definitely with the divine masculines, it's a lot of, I call it, and we both said it, Kathy and I said it, panic attacks out of the blue. Like I can't, it's like overwhelming sensation that they send over to you that you've got to like deal with, you know. And if I did not have known any better, I thought it was my issues until I talked to, you know, Benita, and CPN said last night that too, that she's like, all these ways, where's this energy coming from? And this is something that we really now have got to like now deal with. So I guess in some ways we could say we're tapping to the DM and some things that they're going on. They know that, hey, I'm picking up. They're like, you know, this is the last round. This is kind of getting near. You got to kind of really start atoning. They're saying you got to deal with the energies that's coming to them now. And then also, you know, they got this, everybody's talking about this 1221 that's coming around. Like this is going to be like a real big deal. Holyfield. Spirit has brought me dates several times on the DM 411, December the 5th and December the 15th. Those are the things too as well. So right now, but all different kind of energies. Like I'm cold, I have chills. That's coming out of the blue. I'm like, what is this? You know, ascension. You know, I look around and say, are you cold? She's like, no, I'm not cold. And there she goes, she back. Woo! That was a, look at that. That was a doozy coming from that dimension. Look at this. It took all.
She even got a souvenir. Look at that. She got the dimension on her mask.
She done showed this. She brought some of the galaxy back. It took all of her strengths to come through all of those dimensions to come here. To be with us
without slapping so many along the way.
Yes, all that strength. So I'm gonna stop talking on my ear and see what's going on with you all about these energies. What are you all feeling?
I know mine have been real similar to yours. The panic attack waves, the high, the low, the cold. It's almost like I can understand like how the DM's day is going, because I know when he's awake and I know when he's asleep. I sound like Santa Claus now, but it's because as those emotions roll, and it's the veil is extremely thin. I've heard many people say that. And it's like we're just really getting bombarded with a lot of it. And like, so this morning, I just finally had to send it back and say, I love you so much, but I can't do this. I can't function in my day and be a, you know, productive human being, dealing with, I mean, yesterday it was like, I was crying between classes. I didn't even know why I was crying. And just tears just rolling down my face, and panic and fear and regret and even right down to like shame. And I was like, I don't know where this is coming from. I mean, I knew where it was coming from, but at that point it was like, why are you, you know, snap out of it. Haven't you been listening to me, boy? You know, like foghorn leghorn, you know, come on, boy, snap out of it. It was just so.
I'm getting the sense that
You muted yourself, sweetheart.
Oh,
Yep.
I didn't want to speak over you. So,
Oh.
but I didn't know if you were finished because it sounded like you had some good stuff about to come out, and I was like, let me mute myself.
No, I done.
She finished.
Phone calls, you don't understand. Stop questioning yourself. Can you see me? I don't know. Let's talk about that. If you just can't see me, but you can hear me.
Sort of yes and no. You're static.
Kinda.
Benita said she cried for days.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I testify. She did.
What
Mhm.
a
I love
bestie.
you, dear.
She told you right underneath that daggone spiritual bus with the daisies on the side like a 60s bus, but she ran you over still.
My little VW.
On the Volkswagen deal. Yes, ma'am. Come
I,
on before
I,
you break it out
I,
again.
Lord have mercy. Universe have mercy. Energies have mercy. This is the most. This is the most. And just when you think you've got it, just when you think you've put aside that thing that was like crushing you, it
True.
shows up in a different form, in a way to test you, in a way that you had no idea was humanly possible. Plus, they add your ancestors on it, and then you get
Amen.
like, what's going on? And then they're talking to you, and then your dead friends are talking to you, and you're just like, huh? Okay,
Mhm.
I think I got it. I'm moving along. And then they're like, oh, Tanya Harding. And I don't know if you guys used to do that when you were in school. That's kind of, I don't know if that's still touch and go. I'm sorry, Nancy Kerrigan, if you watch this and it's triggered you. But, that's how it is for all of us right now. We're getting
Okay.
triggered like crazy. We're getting that crunch time, and it's that reflectional stuff, because there's a point where we feel like we've handled it. We feel like we got it. We bossed the situation. You cannot hear me?
Yeah,
You
you was a
can't
little
hear me
low.
again?
Yeah,
Am I
not
low?
yeah, you was a little
Okay.
low.
Oh my Lord. That's what
You
I'm
all right,
saying.
you all
I was
right,
a little low.
you all right,
And
you all right.
I'm being all extra over here. I'm thinking I'm loud. But what's happening, universe? It's a little low. You think you're going somewhere? Check your gas tank. It's probably a little low.
Right. That's a good one. I like that. Good analogy. Good answer. Good answer. Like Family Feud. Good answer.
Oh, I even got a hug. Even the sun came out for that one. I think
See,
like
Oh.
yes, I'm getting all the lovings. Rainbow just appeared. Okay, okay. Let's all manifest me a really nice spot. Let's
Yeah.
all manifest me let's see. We got the Hawaiian retreat going. I want to set up the retreat center so that we all have a place to go that's safe. My son
Can
is
I help you?
yes, and full of beautiful produce because I want to have it be healing as well. Because that twin flame energy right now, I definitely see them going through it and remaining positive. However, yes, they're
They
trying.
just want to eat your face.
Yes,
I'm gonna bite your
and
eyebrow.
and close your lips
Right.
because you're manifesting. And some
Mhm.
of us are ventifesting, for lack of a better word. So, watching what we speak to ourselves, inside of ourselves, and what we believe. This is that crunch time where, okay, we just got to keep going. We got to hold that line of faith and connection with the other. And so, I've been finding, because I'm going through a shit ton of chaos right now, that um, when I remember who I am and allow for the difference, right? The difference between where I'm going and where I am, it's okay to have that space. It's okay to see the mile markers that you are actually making laps. It may some of you feel like you're going backwards, some of you feel like you're spinning your wheels, but you really are making waves. You really are making traction. So
Mhm.
just hold that faith. Hold. Back
Well,
to
that's
you.
what's really being tried, I think, right now is our faith. And she's
Right.
going.
Faith and trust.
Trust I
And you know
feel
what,
here.
we're mirroring so much, I think. And when I say mirroring, a lot of our fears that we have worked through, that stuff on the bottom of the coffee pot that we were so proud of, we'd scoured off that baked on, caked on mess, and it was gone.
Right.
And that coffee pot was so pretty. And now they just found it in the bottom of their coffee pot.
Copper pot, right.
And now they're like, well, you cleaned yours up so nice. Here, let me give you mine. But it's that fear, the fear of not being wanted, the fear that we don't want them, or that they're going to get what they wanted and then screw it up, where we've been through all of that. um and so much of that is coming back and dealing in it with it in a different way, because we're going, have we lost our minds? Because we know we got this, we've
Right.
been through this, but it doesn't feel the same way as it did when I went through this, and having to go through it with them. And yeah, there, April's exactly right. We have to watch what we say, because I can be real quick to say to mine, um, I've been through this. Where were you when I went through it? Because you sure weren't here when I was, laying face first in the carpet, wanting to, just take a dirt nap. And now you're sending me all this crazy. No, I've been through crazy. Thank you, sir. I love you dearly. Please enjoy crazy. Let me know when you're done.
And that, and oh no.
Please finish up.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
It's the sun right there. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, no, we can't go through that, but you're all right. You do find yourself, because I know even in my conversation with the DM, I found myself something didn't go right. And then I was like, I don't want to do. I said, whoa, wait a second. Let's not
Mhm.
speak those words in this, because you know what that means. That would mean that he definitely, you wouldn't be going blah 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 with it. So I said, okay,
And then
I got to watch it. I got to watch what I'm saying,
I'm
because then you have that into your little bubble of your manifestation around you, your little egg bubble that you putting all that energy into, which you're trying to have it for it to protect you, but then at the same time you're polluting it with those bad thoughts at the same time too. So it's like it's kind of working semi against you. It's not going in the direction that you want to, and we got to be really, really mindful and careful of that.
and
Which
Well, we
said,
have to have a release valve on that bubble, because
mm,
sometimes we have to hear that vent to know if it's ours or not. So it's not healthy to keep it, yes, we have to be mindful of our words, but there are times that we have to let out that emotion,
but
because
we don't let it
emotion,
out in a way that this old paradigm where I'm always treated like this.
yes,
Nobody ever does this for me. And it's like, if you say that, that is in present tense, right?
right.
So it creates more present tense. It's a matter of changing that
Hmm.
slowly sometimes and quickly for others, depending on how quickly you can discipline your mind. Because
Hmm.
our minds, we have been systematically taught to not have focus or attention or like we're not aware of our power.
mm-hmm.
And so re-empowering yourself with, yes, clearly somebody loved me enough to bring me onto this world, right? Now they don't owe me anything. Now what's next for me?
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But I
um
mean, when we do have those moments, we need to have that release valve in the bubble to say, kind of like, hold, please, erase, and let it go. And sometimes that, even just that mindful thought of, hold, please, re-say it and then let it go, is enough to kind of calibrate where we are and where the energy is coming from. Because right now, these energies are coming fast and furious. Like I told you guys, meditating the day before this, had never gotten anything for like the collective, and I was getting voices from all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, I mean, this energy, it's no joke, and it's coming in fast and crazy.
this is actually the first time that I've ever um not show. I've specifically chosen to focus on myself because there's a placement. My Venus placement is self-sacrifice, and I'm overly sacrificing by default. So I have to go out of my way to learn how to not do martyring and things of that
Mhm.
nature. So I'm constantly empathetic as part of a survival thing that's built in. And I take pleasure in other people's happiness. That's part of the thing, right? But there's also, what about your happiness? How long have you been ignoring that? There's different ways to get to
Mhm.
the number nine. We all have different stories about this. But we need to be realistic with ourselves and what we have been doing. That is our pattern that may not serve us, and just kind of correct that. I know Jupiter has a really nice way of saying, oh, you can say strike that or delete. She doesn't say strike that, delete that. That's somebody else. But it's
Control
I
Z.
those words that I just uttered. I would like to go ahead and say that, put salt to those. Like, those are not the words I mean. What I mean is
Mhm.
this. So you reaffirm, because I've been finding, even within the thought itself, depending on where you are in this journey, even within the thought itself, when it comes up, it starts to create something in the body, and the body starts to, like, magnetically try to attract it. And so
Mhm.
it's it takes a while to reprogram ourselves, and then to keep sticking to that program takes time, the same way that you do any kind of lifestyle change. It takes time. And I know our sweet Kathy D has a really great set of tools, right? Please tell me you can help us. That's my
Oh
real
yeah, I
insides. My outsides
guess.
are like, I'm calm, serious, we got this. And my insides are like, dear Lord, help. But we got it. I know it's good. It's just, God damn, this has been one heck of a week. And it's almost the end. It's like the final pull of the whole, when they talked about everything going back and everything going into all of these retrogrades and all this stuff. This is that last little, this is
Okay.
supposedly, according to the astrologers that I have seen, this is supposedly the end of that little bit of that cycle, but it's the hardest part of the cycle.
Always.
Well, it's
Always.
like when you move, think about it. You get everything, and you've just went through this. You get everything packed up. Everything's good. You just go in to do that last, kind of walk through, clean up, and then it's like you get it's little pieces of paper and I have children, so beads and
Mhm.
strange crumbs and artificial flowers and you're like how did all of this get here? And it's just that mass chaos before that final run
And then
the
it's
the shop
clean.
vac and be done. Yeah.
Exactly. It's brand new right after, but it's that last little part where you're just like, what the fudge? Everywhere.
That's
How long ago was it that we had chocolate chip cookies and who was eating them in a corner? Yeah.
Exactly. This blob where I just moved from was crazy toxic, and it's so nice to be in a super clean environment, but it's also not mine yet. So I'm just kind of like, ah, okay, spirit, I see you're giving me a taste of what it is, but at the same time, I still have got these pressures and childhood stuff coming out, and I'm so excited to see their faces. And you see me smiling, but you can't hear the grit that's happening with the teeth
Hmm.
because, and I know
I have
some
a
of you are still
hypnotherapy
with
for
it.
that, but
See,
See,
she
I
said
told you.
no.
I told you. That's what I was about to say. Can you flash it right now? Pineapple Fish Life Coaching.
everybody close your eyes now.
I feel a group
No,
hypnotherapy.
without that hypnotherapy session that we had, I probably would be in perma tears for the last few days, because it's just been intense, and because the other is going through all of this intensity, and I'm balancing, like, this diplomatic human that I am, and my mom is, like, helping me get through certain things where I was consistently over sacrificing as well, and being too nice to people and letting myself get run. And it's, like, very interesting to see it and to analyze it and to be okay with letting it go. And so, what is it within your particular journey that it may feel uncomfortable to actually just hold that space for yourself? But where is it? And what can we do bit by bit? And I highly suggest an hour with Kathy D to get yourself on board with who you really want to be in this 2021. And I'm excited about the 12/12 event because I have had some things come through that I've taken notes about that are going to really help with the 2112 portal. That's actually my favorite number combination. Just gonna be honest. It's always been that 2112. And now that it's finally here, I'm like, oh shit.
That's mine and the DM's birthday, 12 and
Oh
21.
really? Oh really?
Oh,
Nice. Oh, and that was 12, 20 or 2112. Anyway, there's a lot of stuff coming through right now for us to anchor in. And with the 1212 portal, or the 12, well, that's a mini portal, right?
right.
Mm-hmm.
And it's to set order. So, what do we actually want to put on the order form? We get our
Mhm.
orders in early
I
to
like that.
actually get it, right?
Right,
Mm-hmm.
right.
And then 2112, you're anchored in not only with yourself, but this container, this magical container that helps set you on the long haul. So even if you have some kind of little slip up or something like that comes through, you know that you have anchored in that 20, that 1221 portal, what it is that you truly want to manifest. And in order to put that in order, the 1212 event is going to be key, key.
And this is a time that journaling is so valuable. And especially not just journaling to write it down to have a record of your emotions and how things are going, but to do things like the burning bowl ritual, where you take these things and you ask yourself, what am I done with? What have I grown out of? No longer fits me, no longer serves me. What am I done with? And write it down and put it in that bowl. And you can do it in a pan or a pot. Like if you have a big pot and you can do it in your kitchen if you don't have somewhere to go outside and do it. Just be always mindful when you're using fire. And um, but there's so many ways to do that. And this is really a time, it's a great time. The end of the year always is a wonderful time to release these things. But then it also makes room for, as we clear this stuff out, it makes room for what we want and what we need in our lives. And so a lot of times it's, yeah, at the beginning, we all had been in that romantic, wonderful honeymoon stage. But now to think about it, what do I want from the DM?
Right.
It's that support. Not He's not
Yes, I
helping me,
said.
but it's being next to me, that atta girl. That was something he was always great about, was I knew you can do it. You're so strong. You're such an amazing woman. When I didn't see it in myself, to then have that not spoken anymore, but just know that strength is next to me. It's not behind me supporting me anymore. It's next to me. We're together. We're unified as a powerhouse, as a team, where, it's that atta girl, you've done great, you can do this. It's that atta boy, you're amazing and you got this. It's
Mhm.
that, unified support. Now, if somebody's given away, trips to a, secluded resort down in the Keys, I don't think either one of us would ever turn it down, and that's all fine and well, but that's not what it's about anymore. It's that unified, the knowing your other half and being that cherry on top of the cake, you know I've got my strength and he's got his strength. And when we bring these strengths together, the things that we can do for the rest of the world is where the excitement lies now. I can, and there is no one like him. So if he ever sees this, I don't get in trouble for this, but there is no one like him. He's amazing. But if it was, I just wanted somebody to be, my knight in shining armor, or, a warm body next to me, you could find that. But to have that strength and know, as much as they strengthen you, you strengthen them. And they make you a better person, but you make them a better person. And they show you your weaknesses and you show them their weaknesses. And you're vulnerable enough to let them show you where you're weak and what you need to work on. That's not a knight in shining armor. That's being vulnerable. And that's, kind of one of those, take it to the soul. This is what you need to work on. And being thankful and grateful that they took the time way back before we even started this adventure to sign that contract and say, yeah, I'm going to do this, and I am so sorry I'm going to do this to you, but we have to learn this.
April, just to go back to you and piggyback, because you're the one that came up with the topic tonight. So, what was the frame of reference of the questioning of divine feminine? What did she want from the divine masculine? And then we can back from that, unpack it from there.
I was getting, because I've been meditating and praying, and I was prompted to journal. And what I was prompted to journal was, what do you want? What do you really want to see or feel and experience? And what that did, the writing of that created an energetic pull. And then I felt more satisfied instead of the hunger, because physically, in the 3D sense, yes, I am in separation. But in the 5D sense, I'm constantly supported. So when I find the strain in the 3D, the 5D, if I ask for and open myself up to receive, shows me exactly what I need. My twin's energy will show up in that supportive light. And so, as a black woman in particular, I found that I bend over backwards to try to appear in such a way so that it's like clean and kosher, and I did all this good stuff, and it's like, you know what? No, f that. That's all right. You're gonna go ahead and not do that for that person, and not do that for that person, and that's gonna be okay, and that's gonna be part of your strength, because you're saving that energy for yourself to stay whole for your family, right? To stay whole as a woman. I identify female, right? So, as to be able to fully embrace my femininity, I get to also embrace my masculinity. And what I need from an external counterpart is, very little, but it's very specific. And each of us have that thing that we crave, that we can actually give ourselves somewhat, but we also need that support from the universe, right? We also need that support from our twins energy. And the more we start connecting with what do we want, we start to pull in that energy, and it starts to give us more magnetism, versus giving that power away where we're like in need and desperate. We know how to ask what we want from the universe, and we know how to see it. Like, I just want to feel good today and laugh. And then, of course, something will come before you, just the perfect thing to make you laugh, or just the perfect song that'll make you feel connected to your other. And that's a perfect vibration to hold, versus the, oh, I'm not this, or I'm not that, or, this isn't good enough. Or we're addicted to that strain and stress because, okay, we're solution oriented. But it's okay to feel good and still be solution oriented. That's what came about. So, for example, I'm very stressed about our moving situation right now, and so I say, oh, twin, I feel you, I feel your energy, baby. I need your support right now to just feel calm. Or what would be a good thing for me? What's the next step? Right, God, what's the next step? And behold, a light appears and shows me that the next step is actually right here. Then a song that says, I'm so in love with you and everything you do. Yeah, your body is a wonder. I mean, I haven't heard that song in a long time, but it does make you feel good about yourself. Let's not lie. What? You don't like your body is a wonderland?
I plead the fifth on that one.
But you worried about the cave of many wonders?
Let's just say that that song has memories, and I'm going to leave that one very far alone.
Okay, okay. We're going
Fair
in.
enough. Fair enough. Everybody's got a different song.
Right.
The rainbow came out, so pick your song. You got a choice.
Yes. I'm your lady. That's my song choice. Wait, wait. Yeah, but
For the Freaky Friday edition, it was specific. It asked Spirit was like specifically, what do you want your twin to do to you? Got really kinky for a hot minute
oh,
there, and I was
oh.
like, okay.
Now that's really putting in your order. That's my order form. What I want. Okay, let me see. Let me think. Anything goes. And
I
this is
think I got enough pages in here. I think we're.
anything goes, and that is it's Freaky Friday.
But,
Ooh.
but of course, I'm just joking because my big sister's on here. So see, I'm sweet and innocent. I don't know what they're talking about. I don't
You
know.
don't know what you thought, yeah.
As Jackie used to say, I know no. I know no.
Tammy was leaving the brigade anyway. I got you, Tammy. I know. But a lot of times I think in with divine feminines, some of them it is a little scary for you to actually find yourself sitting down in the source's lap like Santa Claus and telling them specifically what you want from your divine masculine.
Hmm.
I think that is the most scariest thing to do, especially when your divine masculine has shown him not so nice of a side of himself, or he has several times showed that, hey, I don't know if I want to be with this or in it to win it. So to ask the question, what do you want from your divine masculine? I'm feeling, and they're sending to me, is going to have to start from forgiveness, because you got to clean the slate. You can't ask them to do that, and then it's like, to me, you putting sugar on top of 369. Well, it's a bad word, but anyway, that way, bad stuff. So my thing, those lottery numbers, you can go play them if you want to, but anyway. But that's a bad thing for you to be doing, for you to do that. So in order for you to really do that, you've got to really truly be honest with yourself. You got to state the truth about that too, and then put in, as April said, put your order in, because otherwise, that you're sitting there telling the angels or your higher self to take an order for something that you know that you're going to not partake in, or you're going to sit there and I'm seeing you like complaining about the order that you got because
Hmm.
you're not ready for it. So my thing is that you have to start with forgiveness, of really cleaning that slate of everything. Forgiveness of the part of your DM, forgiveness of the part of what you've done as well. And then let's start putting in the order. So I would say again, that's why I say, tell me where you wanted me to go so I could know what this was, where we were. So it's almost I like backwards planning. So again, now we want to put in our order, because I know there's a lot of divine feminists that are, want to do this, put in an order, and really say specifically what they see in a divine masculine and what they want out of him to be more clearly defined. And so my thing is, what would be some issues that a divine feminine has to deal with first before to address before she can get to that step of being able to actually know what she wants from her divine masculine? What would she have to do? The divine,
Well, forgiveness, definitely. We have to have the forgiveness. We have to forgive ourselves. Um, and then worthiness. We
mm,
have to know that we're worthy, because you can give this grandiose order that you want, but the minute it snaps in the back of your head after you put it in, oh, but I'll never get that. Well, you might as well have, just said, I'd like, a dirty Kleenex, please. Thank you very much. Next. Because that's what you're gonna get, because you're gonna sit there and cry then because you didn't get it. And all you got was that dirty Kleenex, because in the back of your mind, you knew you didn't deserve that. So we've got to have worthiness that we do deserve these things. And so we've got to have the forgiveness, and then we've got to have the worthiness, and we've got to so watch not just our words, like April says all the time, and she's mentioned it tonight too. We've got to watch our thoughts, because they are coming back to us differently. And we know that. We know that. So when it's one of those situations where, well, he always did this. No, not anymore, because he's not going to always do that. Well, he would never go out of his way to, show affection, but hint around about it. So rewrite that in your head. You can't replay that, because when you do, you put that negativity back on it, and it replays it back again.
mm-hmm.
So we've got to have forgiveness of ourselves, of them, of the whole situation. I think really and truly, and not just of each other in separate parts. We have to forgive ourselves and our divine masculine or feminine as a union. We can't just always forgive separately, because then when we go together, we haven't forgiven what we caused together.
Mm, mm,
So we've got to clear that, and then we've got to not only, like with the worthiness, it's not that I'm just worthy, and it's not just he's just worthy. We are worthy.
mhm. Okay.
And it's bringing that union back in together on another level. Just, bringing that individually, my divine masculine, divine feminine energy, his divine masculine, his divine feminine energy, forgiving all of that, and then bringing it together as us, forgiving us. And those are the main things before we ever get, and then be real mindful as we put in our order that it's not ego, that we're not wanting to, oh, and yeah, wait till Aunt Sally sees this next Christmas. Ha ha ha. Always asking me where my man was. Well, I'll show that old battle axe. No, you don't want ego to be in this order.
Okay.
It needs to be pure, and it needs to be, and because the universe sees through it. And
Mm,
you've got to know that if you go into it with ego, you're going to be met with ego.
So typically places where you don't have ego, and this occurred to me. When you I'll talk about myself, okay? And then you could tell me if this resonates. When I'm put under extreme emotional duress, so stressed out, crying, when I take that breath and I pull in what I actually need, when I call that out, and I tend to, and not in a self-deprecating type of way, in a fully, this is where I'm at, this is what I need, like a child who says, I need food, I want milk. You know what I mean? This is the purest form. When you're in that emotional state, the purest form of creation. Just like when you're in a state of ecstasy or passion, that's also a pure state of energy. Now we put our twist on it when we go into, like she's saying, Kaviti's saying, the ego of I'm not worthy enough. I don't understand even how to do this because I never had this as an example in my family. Who actually knows how to have a relationship? Society says I'm just supposed to hit it and quit it, kind of thing. You know, I can't rely on the opposite sex. But why are we against each other? Why are we opposite sexes? We're not. We're complementary, right?
Mm-hmm.
All of it is complementary.
Alpha
So,
and Omega.
so in that sense, if we start to dance around the perspectives, we start to lose all that other stuff. And one of the things that I thought to add to it was being consistent,
Mm-hmm.
right? You have to consistently keep accepting your worthiness. You can't just say one day I'm worthy and then be worthy. You've trained yourself to think you're not and to act like you're not, right? So you train yourself to realize your worthiness. You train yourself to realize forgiveness, right? Because that act gets to keep happening until it's just a breath of forgiveness, just a breath. Allowing people to allowing yourself to trust, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that means not controlling, but allowing and surrendering into what spirit is creating. That nice little flow. I can feel it. I can feel it happening. So as we're all in this crunch, you have a choice. Like back in the studio, what is that? You have a choice. Who you hear. You can either hear your old story or you can hear what the universe has for you. You can hear what God wants for you, right? It's not to
Mm-hmm.
feel bad about yourself and to think so and so never could care about you in the world. No, it's for you to say, you know what? I am absolutely worthy of love. Even in this state of sheer whatever XYZ, I know love is for me. I know that abundance is for me. I know that comfort is for me and for us, right? Once you allow yourself to have it, you can then share it.
Yay. And what else also came to me was that even though when you do have that, be open for whatever order or the way you ask for the universe to bring it to you, to be open and receptive the way it comes back to you. Because it might not come exactly X, Y, and Z or one, two, three the way you want it to, but then also be accepted that, hey, they might bring it in a different version of it, or it might come this way. We have to also be open and receptive to the way in which we get our order back from the way we ask for it. We can't say a specific, we can always put out that. That's why we always say that or something better, or this is something, higher or in my best interest or something like that too as well. But spirit is also bringing it to me and say, yeah, and then be open about it. Throw it out there and then say, hey, if you want to modify or adjust, or maybe some things the source might be, and I brought it to me too. So some things you're asking for, some of you all you're not ready for too. And so you have to allow for, again, where you are is your groove, that you're ready to receive it as well. Another thing is, okay, let's say, and I know we have like a variance on my channel of people that say they believe that they have healed, they don't have anything else that's got to do. And so now they're really ready for to call in exactly what they want from their divine masculine. So, what would be some things in which a divine feminine should be asking of her divine masculine? I think sometimes the issue is that, again, they got to remember that they're divine, and then I think the role of what a divine masculine is, and not for you to put in a request or something that you want this of the divine masculine, is something that just like a regular Joe you would ask or expect. That you have to remember again that the divine masculine's role and what he brings to the table is a little bit different than a regular Joe or a soul mate or whatever way you want to put it. That he is an ultimate lover, and I think sometimes we have a way we categorize the divine masculine in that manner, that we have to remember, okay, keep that in mind too. That's all I'm gonna say. So now, so we know we done the work. Okay, we done healed everything. I'm gonna play along with this person that say, "Hey, I hear what you're saying, but I done did all that work. So now I'm just ready to call in. So what do I need to do to call the divine masculine in?" This is a person who's I'll say they haven't done it, but I'm gonna play along with them, and they say that they have done it. So what are we supposed to do when we say we're at that point? We've done everything, and now we're at that last leg. So now we want to call in. What should I expect of my divine masculine?
What should we ask for, or what should
Yeah,
we expect
what to
from them?
ask for.
I think it,
Start simple for
yeah,
sure.
start simple, but truthful communication, honesty,
Mhm.
those core values that that they have. You just want them to show them. I don't think you can build any kind of relationship, not a friendship, not a romantic relationship, not a business partnership, nothing, if you don't have communication and you don't have honesty.
True.
And so
I've
I think,
found
like
that.
April says, we've got to start small, but we need to start with that honest communication, and maybe trust, if that was one of your issues, or um looking back at, when you look back at it, and if you spent the time, and supposedly this person has, and you look at it, you see where you as yourself were lacking, and where they were lacking in, um like mine, of course, was very much built on communication because of the distance. So fear of expressing emotion, um fear of rejection. So being open, being trusting, being honest at all cost. Now, I'm not saying, you're going to say, "Hey, that new haircut looks stupid." You might say, "Babe, that's just not one of my favorite ways for you to wear your hair." But being honest, not just telling them it's fantastic, and moving on for the sake of keeping everything calm. They've been there. That's what they're coming out of. That's what the dojo was.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, we have to go to those core issues and start looking at what we needed in our relationship. And I think communication and honesty is probably, uh, one of the major foundations, and trust.
We did. Oh, I thought she had another dimension again.
No, my battery's gonna die.
Oh
Even though I'm
Lord.
charging it, even though I am literally charging it while this is happening, I'm not sure why it does that.
Is
Anyway,
it goes all the way down in the lighter?
Yeah, is it all the way? Is the car on?
yes, ma'am.
And it's in the
Ma'am.
lighter too? Okay. All right. Because I know I did that one day and it wasn't in the lighter. It looked like it was, but it wasn't. I'm like, oh hell.
Well, it's
Okay.
got the little bolts on it, like it's saying, "I'm charging." Psych.
Okay.
That's how
Okay.
it is. Check your fuel. It's probably low. But no, it's just one of those things right now where Kathy D brought up a great point, which is coming from honesty, coming from sweetness, um, detaching ego, and the ego. I used to say this a lot, but people lie to themselves first,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and you can come from a place where you're coming from the place of the lie when you're asking the question, when you're coming from the place of the ego, like, why didn't you ever call me, why don't you treat me right? That's not really what you mean. What you mean is, I would like to be given flowers once a week, just so I can see this brightness and know how much I'm cared for and thought about, and these are my favorite flowers, right? um how I receive love is by kind acts or kind words or time. If you spend time with me or we spend time together and you do the acts of the alpha. You do the acts of the self care. You spend that time with yourself journaling or drawing or dancing. Be that 5 minutes a day. You know, you could set a timer. 5 minutes is really not very much, and it goes by relatively quickly. I know you just lost 5 minutes real quick. Same thing with, going. I mean, if you can't even afford flowers, maybe you can go pick them. You know, just taking that time and knowing that you're worthy of it. And it's not always necessarily having to be like, yes, you want to be this so and so in the future, but you're stepping your way toward it and not being mad at yourself or angry at yourself that you haven't gotten there, because you're learning how to accept it as you step toward it. You're learning how to accept your twin as you step toward them, even if you're going there in the thought where you say, I would love for you to hug me. And then if they say something for that or against that, even in your own mind, then then that's your resistance, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And giving yourself permission to see that resistance, giving yourself permission to see that negative self talk, and then gracefully changing it. Anyway, I don't know why it's going so fast. Oh, I know why. StreamYard.
Yeah, it's gonna eat it up.
Mhm.
It's gonna eat it up. Yeah, and that's kind of like a new thing that I've had this dialogue, especially when the negative self-talk comes up. I've got this new thing I tell myself now is like, I'm with you. I'm with you, whatever you decide to do. I'm going to be there. Okay, something goes wrong. I say, you know what? I'm still here. I'm still with you. I'm with you no matter what. Let myself know that I am supporting myself, even in the decisions, whether they're good or bad. That to me is a way of when I say I want union within, with the divine masculine and divine feminine within. That's the same way I'm sending out that same vibe that I would want it to happen without, with the divine masculine. That no matter what, it's like I'm still here. You're still supported. So I'm programming myself for me to have that harmony within so that it will transfer over to first of all, we always say you've got to have it for yourself first, and in order for you to have union outside, then that's it. And so now I'm noticing, you know what, this is how you even partying within your own self. You're not really supporting yourself. When you do something, you beat yourself up. You go into that was stupid, I don't know why you did that. And so now I changed the dialogue within myself to say more so, okay, I'm with you. Yeah, you did make the right decision there, but that's all right, I'm still here. So that's another thing of kind of a dialogue that I'm using now with myself. And I would say that's a good thing when we're talking about what do you ask for, excuse me, for your divine masculine. Remember, again, don't ask the same thing of him that you would ask of yourself. Let me put it.
Mhm.
And that's a real biggie for us to really understand that too. So maybe if you're thinking about the list of things, maybe you will ask yourself, what is it again? Is the divine masculine within myself? Would I like to see actually happen? And then look and see, can you transfer that list over to your person as well? Because again, I feel as well, you shouldn't be asking of your person something that you wouldn't be able to ask yourself. And
Mhm.
that's something again that if you were trying to, make that list and check it twice, like Santa Claus, that would be another kind of advice or suggestion that I would give to the person that is thinking about actually saying, I've done all of the work. I don't have anything else. I don't know who this person is. This is that person talking with the hand again. I've done all the work. I've done everything. It's nothing else for me to do. And I would say, okay, let's start with you, and then let's start without. Start within, then go without, and see where does it lead you there. Because I guarantee you, it is still some work for you all to do, to be done. Kudos, you're not where you used to be. I will give you that. However, there is still again some growing. We always again Earth teachable planet. We're always forever evolving. This is the emotional planet, so we're gonna always deal with emotions here on planet Earth. Welcome. All are welcome. But At the same time, I would say, that would be some kind of way I would say look into that too. This person who's, and they know who I'm talking to, that you would look into yourself too, and not just write off that that's just the end all within all. Look both ways, like you cross the street. Look both ways, and then see where's truly, where is it coming from? Where could you make those adjustments? Um, Kathy D also brought up a very good point talking about it as we're coming to an end. Another thing I would like to add on to her activity is I talked about eulogizing, do a eulogy too of things that you don't want. That was very good. You can span that from yourself, things that you want to die within yourself, and then I got that from Fiery Grace. And then she said, write a decree of all the things that you would want. So I put it first because again, like I said, I don't think you should ask anybody else that you can't do for yourself. So first thing you do a eulogy of yourself of things that got to die in order for the union to come together. Then you go a next thing and then you do a decree as a queen. What are the things that you're going to do as you are in your true divine self as a feminine? And then the next thing is as your divine masculine, what things that has to die in him that you believe in order for that to happen. And then you do a decree from him as a king, him in his king status, and then tell about what he's going to do being in that role as a king. So that means in the union, outside, whatever way you think that he needs to change as well. And that might be another list that you can use as far as knowing what you need to ask of your divine masculine as well. So those are some key things that I think that again, that when we're talking about what can we ask of our masculine, that's going to take some really sit down. That's not like like a grocery list. You got to really sit down and really ponder over what are you asking for. And I think again, also another thing is a lot of times when we're saying about the divine masculine, one thing is again, we do have to have the healthy boundaries. That is true about that, especially when they're coming in, understanding the boundaries that we have, to have those boundaries still be in place with the divine mask and them understanding the healthy boundaries that we put up as well too. That would be a thing that I would say to put on that list, that bucket list, or that list of things too as well, because I think a lot of times when we were with our divine masculines, we would create the list and then we would check it twice and then we erase it and say, no, that's all right. But understanding that him coming back new and you coming back new, that you respect his healthy boundaries that he has now and you do the same for them as well, vice versa. So those are some things that just came to me about that as well. Is there anything else? Are you almost dying, April? The phone. Let me correct that. In my word, I say it's cancel. Cancel that order. Cancel it. Cancel it out. So I is the phone dying?
Yeah, we're losing battery quickly here, but
Okay.
um, that was beautiful. That was well done. That covered a lot of stuff. Um, because right now we're constantly reclaiming our divinity. We are in a state of
Mm-hmm.
practice of our goddess selves, our god selves, right? Not saying that we are the supreme everything, right? But there's supreme everything within us. And when we act from that space, we start to shuffle all the debris around. And this is the last, we keep saying it's the last cleaning, but it's the last first cleaning, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because once the house is clean, once the house is really, really deep clean, then you're always kind of cleaning it. But there's less maintenance that needs to happen. And you get to focus on different things and you enjoy it. Like, wow, I forgot the detailing of underneath this part of the toaster, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But once you're
That
done,
that
then now
little
you can
drawer
go
holds
switch
all
it
the
out.
crumbs.
Yeah.
And the beauty of it is with the constant change, we get to come back at it again and look at it again and still do it again. And it's going to be different than it was last time. So realize this is an ever unfolding process. The thousand petal lotus. It's like we're constantly opening up to ourselves. And, there's there's never an actual end point to it. There's
Mm-hmm.
just accepting and more. And that's the beauty of it. Like, this is happening for us. There's so much more for us. And this is why we're being put through it. What is the lesson in this? Right? What is the lesson in the fact that I had this type of experience? And how can I share the beauty of this with others? At least for me. It could be others who want to share, quiet, right? Stillness. Sometimes that's a big thing too. People don't really want to sit still with themselves.
Yeah, oh yeah.
This list, oh, you think, oh, I'm just going to write a list and then he's going to show up, right? That's a lot of expectation for the universe and for yourself. And, you might want to, because some of us have the self fulfilling prophecy thing that we like to do, right? And we set a high standard so that it cannot be met and then want to turn around and XYZ about that. But here's the deal, it's never ending. And when you are in 3D union, you're still going to have your process and you're still going to change and you're still going to grow. The question is, how quickly? Do you fully trust fall in the universe and let it take you because you know that good things are coming? Or do you hold and resist and find all this stuff that you got to work out? And either way, it's still okay because it's your way. But how do you hold you in that space, right? You trust fall the universe, but you can't lose who you are, or your inner workings, your strength, your gifts. You are individual. You are unique. You are your divine you. And so practicing maintaining. Trust us. We got this. We're all ready for a nap. I can feel it. Did I give you that yawn? Because I'm exhausted. Did I look like I was falling asleep? I mean, my battery's about to die. I'm going to fall asleep. Apparently, I'm about to write a
No,
eulogy.
don't do
I
that.
really like
Don't
that.
do that. No, 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 no. Don't do that. Don't do that. All right, then we gonna. So I don't want to lose, and we gonna end because we start together, we'll finish together. So we gonna go right on into it. All right, we got pineapplefishlife.coaching.com. I'm like blah 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 blah. Uh, you got any specials? Anything? You got your Christmas special, correct? Or no?
Right. The holiday special, which goes up into the new year, probably the first week in January. All of the kind of the emotional, the stress, all that kind of stuff. Um, hypnotherapy and life coaching is all, $55.
Okay, got you.
And
Okay,
that winds up being like an hour and 30 minutes because I talk to you first and we just kind of see where you're going and then get a game plan.
right, got you. Okay, all right then. And then we got Maple This Golden Life.com. April Williams. Any specials?
Um, right now, just
Life.
my meditations are on there, but I'll be doing some more after moving. I'm actually like not doing any booking right now.
Okay, yeah,
Um, I'm too mobile, and spirit is so moving right now, and there's so much going through for everybody that I'm like anybody I take on right now. I'm gonna
right.
conserve my energy, but you can get some meditations on there. I got a really lovely womb healing meditation on there.
Okay,
If you really want to reset that, a lot of feminine could really use the space to heal and clear their womb areas. We
yeah,
carry a lot of energy from um, our past lovers, ourselves, and our even our matriarchal line. So that's a really good one to start. And yeah, I'll be back in action pretty soon.
so yes, 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 yes. You get that settled and all that together, that new castle that she's going to move into. Yes. And so also, don't forget about bringing in the divine order, the new year, the event, the 12/12 event on Saturday, $12, 12 cents. Make sure you go over there to Divine Unisoul, 11.co and purchase your event access pass. We got all the good stuff. We got Days of Soul Mission. We got Sean also is going to be here. And we got Benita, a wave of a beautiful warrior. We got also Patricia McNeely that's going to be here. And of course, all of the playground experience people are going to be here. And then also the slots for the Divine Masculine 411 after party is filling up kind of fast there. So make sure that you get your ticket, your access, get your ticket to it, then you get access to the VIP party that is part of the package deal. So that's what's going on with me. And also I will be uploading and finishing up probably over this weekend. I thought today, but I got slammed again by the energies of the DM. Which is some instant divine masculine love letters, so you can get that like on the go, and you don't have to wait to get a reading with me. It'll just be $7. I brought it down to $7, so it'd be instantly. So you pick which one, the number, and then you take one for my instant reading selection. And then I'm also going to put the instant readings on sale for $1. So that'd be so that's really really cheap. So you can get an instant reading from me. You pick a number or whatever, and then you could just get an answer there. That'll be my Christmas present to you for that. So that is it. All right then. Let's go ahead and let's hit it with our exit plan strategy. Let's go, Kathy D.
Empty all the sand out of your shoes and socks and all other orifices you may have sand. Make sure you clean up after yourself, clean up all your virtual juice boxes, get your own sand bucket and shovel. And wishing you your best life ever. See you real soon.
All right. And April Williams.
Stay blessed, stay golden, and remember, you were made for this golden life.
All right. And as always, stay uplifted, stay motivated, stay ascending. I'ma stay and I'ma go. Mwah. Love you.